And we are live.
And we are live. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gods and goddesses, welcome to another episode of Third Eye Thursdays.
Yes.
You are now rocking with the best.
To this day.
Yes, indeed. This is your brother, Rich Phil, and I am joined by the illustrious, industrious Blue Pillar.
Peace to the family. Peace to you and yours, brother Blue Port, and live and direct. Also, moonlighting at Chef Pablo. Peace to the world.
And Pope Pablo, talk black to me.
To this day. To this day.
Yes, indeed.
To this day.
Yes. And we are here at KTL Studios.
Bang.
All right. KTL and the ATL. Shout out to Industry ATL. All right. Shout out to all of the family in the building.
Bang.
Yes, as you can tell, the sound effects are back. We're in the building. Sound right.
Face first.
Visuals right.
Shit like that.
Shit like that. You know what I'm talking about? Type shit. You know what I'm talking about? And we are so happy to announce so many good things today. Today is an inaugural episode of Third Eye Thursdays at KTL Plus Studios. Please, everybody, give it up for yourselves. Everybody in attendance, we have a family in the building.
Yes.
All right, studio audience in the building. You know what I'm talking about? Giving us that good energy.
Indeed.
I don't need no negativity around me.
No.
And tonight we have a powerful show that we have put together. You know what I'm talking about? Me and the good brother Blue Pillar. We decided to have a conversation because today has been an unprecedented day on my timeline. I cannot recall a day in the culture of hip-hop that I've seen so much of the collective hip-hop culture, you know, the people in the audience, right? Collectively coming together to signal the bells of doom and gloom. Man. Everybody is Wendy Williams now.
Yeah, you know.
Everybody is taking a sip of the tea, it seems, on social media, and everybody has a front seat ticket to the spiraling of what we know as modern day pop culture. Okay? And many of the figures that are involved with it are taking a downfall and a spiral. We are seeing in the quote-unquote March of Ides, or what we called March Madness, true March Madness taking place, to the point you don't know when you wake up what you are going to be encountered with. So with that being said, we decided to put together a show to highlight some of the pioneers in the culture who were responsible for word, but also in music.
Right.
Being a warrior and standing up against the tides of an industry that was not only unfavorable to the people who were truth seekers, but also very aggressive towards them.
Indeed.
You know? So, you know what I mean, over the years, this good brother, he hit the scene back in the days with a song called Spark Mad Ism. Ism. And came on the scene with a flow and an energy that was very, very fresh. And yes. And ever since then, the brother has been putting on 24 hours of peace, all right? And that is a venue that he does in Newark, New Jersey, Brick City.
Indeed.
Yes, dedicated to the peace movement and lyrical reform, and our brothers and sisters standing up against the negative lyrics and the deaf culture. And
self-destruction.
Right?
And
Yes. And the brother also has taken the Spark Mad Ism brand into new heights while we live in this world where this plant has been legalized, this crop that was once demonized is now a source of income.
Yes, one of the original advocates for 420 lifestyles and ways and means.
Yes.
We want to definitely honor and give thanks and praise for our good brother.
Hours of peace. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Peace to the God.
Peace, God. Peace, God. Peace, God.
Peace,
Peace,
God.
God.
Peace, God. Peace, God. How
Listen,
you?
your audio is clipping. I noticed, like, you guys were doing your intro. Matter of fact, big shout out to that was a dope intro. That was a dope
Indeed.
introduction.
Yes.
Set me up nicely. I love it. Salutations go out to the brotherhood. But
Salute.
your audio was clipping, so I was losing some of the things you were saying. I wasn't catching everything.
Okay, on whose mic? Mine or Blues?
Both you
All right, all right.
yours at time.
Indeed, indeed. So we'll make sure that that audio gets fixed and whatnot as we move forward. But first and foremost, how you doing today, good brother? How's your day been so far?
Doing great. Trying to stay in shape, stay healthy, keep a smile on my face.
That's right.
Indeed.
How's that Florida sun treating you?
It was 86 degrees, tank top and shorts.
As a New Yorker, right? What they call a snowbird. You got out of there. You got out of there BC. That's before COVID and whatnot. You made your exodus. You was
Right.
You was an early Snake Plissken expat. Can you tell us the benefits of going to the south, to that region and whatnot, where the sun is a little more alive and health wise? How did that benefit you? And would you recommend it for people who are tired of the cold weather in the north?
Well, the weather, I would definitely recommend it.
Yes.
For the space, you know, New York a little tighter. You know what I mean? Northeast get kind of tight. You know, you fight for
Right.
room. Elbow room is limited up top. You know, you get a little bit more down here. Politics a little shaky though down here, so you know you got it's just a little shaky down here.
Yeah.
You know, the school systems. You know, it's a strong attack. Or
Oh yeah, you got Governor DeSantis.
a lot of the things they try, and DeSantis is leading the charge. So you know that's a little sticky. But
Right.
Right. That's a whole Tubi series, being woke in Florida. You know what I'm talking about? It's a whole nother feeling. But that's beautiful. That's beautiful. But tonight, my very interesting conversation, something that me and you have been having. We've been, you know, catching up with each other and saying that, yo, we gonna get up because there's a conversation that needs to be had. So I'm all about perfect timing, and I said today would be the perfect day to have a sit down with my good brother Hakim Green and talk about what everybody now, right, can see with both eyes and the third eye, right? A conversation that a year ago would have been more speculative. But now when we have this conversation, hopefully it will resonate a little bit louder. So I want to take the family through a timeline of this corporation that they call hip hop, because in no ways, family, am I attacking the art form and the culture called hip hop, which is actually higher infinite power healing our people. That is no ways that I'm going to critique that part of the culture. What we're speaking about is a complexity that has been put together by banks, lawyers, and other shady individuals who have immense wealth, and they've been able to carry out agendas of untold precedents, and now is being exposed. So I feel like it's perfect time to break it down, good brother.
yeah, you were clipping off at the end, so I didn't catch everything you said, but I kind of think, well, anyway. So, full transparency, the title, I don't agree with. And I know you kind of reference by proper terms, or things get conflated and confused. And
Right.
you say one thing, you meant another. This one thing is out of control. We keep calling it this thing, so this thing gets valued, even though hip hop is not what we do, is how we do it.
Right.
Hip hop is that thing that we put on it as black and brown people, the essence of our soul, how we take things. Rap is in hip hop, but rap alone isn't hip hop, right? Hip hop is the 4 elements plus the 5: fashion, street entrepreneurialism, and there's a whole bunch of others I just can't run off right now, but there's 9 of them, right? It's that, but then it's everything we do. For instance, the way you guys have been disseminating knowledge over the last Adine is hip hop. Ain't nobody rapping, ain't no beats, ain't nobody dancing, but the way repack, given to people in a way that they can access it under the cultural paradigm that they are in now.
Right.
That's hip hop. But we keep saying rap music, pop music is hip hop, and it ain't. Corporate culture has a culture unto itself. There's rules that apply in culture, corporate culture, that doesn't apply in hip hop culture.
Right.
There's certain just things that you have to do, and if you're not successful doing that, you're not going to be successful at the corporate side of rap music, not hip hop culture. So we got to make that distinction clear. So when we have this conversation, this whole other
Right.
right. So in that, the music business is the music business. It's been around since at least the late 1800s.
Right.
Modern day music business is born out of slavery, right?
Right.
Reproduce in their entertainment form, Sambo, Step and Fetch It, Blackface, all of that started out as white boys imitating and mimicking us, right?
Right.
That's the birth of the music and what they call music. White people making records, mimicking black people, disrespecting black people, using our terms in a flipped around Step and Fetch It, Amos and Andy,
Mantan, Moreland.
Mantan, Moreland, exactly. Like all of that is how the music industry, entertainment industry was built up as it relates to our people, right? When we get to the 60s and with the advent of technology and the distribute, black people actually were able to kind of carve out a nice niche for themselves making indie music. We know a lot of the big rock stars and pop stars, again, Elvis Presley and the such, were just reinventions of early black artists. Like straight up jacking the music, jacking the songs, redoing styles, that whole shit. But again, as we need to have people play themselves, or black people play out these caricatures, is kind of how we ended up where we are now. But yeah, we can get into all that.
Right. Say it in. Yeah, your signal, it was just, we lost your signal for a minute. Indeed. So, yeah, as we see the progression of this music, right, what was the culture that was also being formed? No, we're not even getting to hip hop, good brother. We're talking about the music before it became hip hop. We're talking about early black music when it was on the chitlin circuit. What culture was that attached to? It wasn't just music. Like what was the lifestyle that was being created, and was that lifestyle curated by our people, or was that lifestyle also being curated by the music industry?
The quote unquote mainstream has always been controlled by a certain group of people, pretty much. But again, culture is created on the grassroots level. So, a lot of it was, us, or not. When I say us, you got to be specific. Like, the artists that we're talking about, coming up in an era where Black people didn't have any opportunities. People of
Right.
color had very little opportunities. We was, we was scraping back from us. I mean, it was kind of hard. I mean, America was hard across the board, but for our people, it was extremely hard. So, the best example that I can think of, and I'm not giving credence to the actual storyline of The Color Purple. However, when you look at The Color Purple
Yeah.
and how people were living, it was very hard. It was very, people are coming up in the mud in a
Right,
real
right.
way. So the culture is that of people coming up out of the mud, and everything that happens in the mud, I'm talking about everything that happens in the mud is happening. So in terms of music, in art, and being able to express yourself and expressing what's around you, the
Yes.
music was a reflection of. So you got like, I don't even want to play myself and try to, you get what I'm saying in terms of the types of content that people are talking about. You still had drug culture. Sex was still like a big part of
Right.
what the culture was. Even like when you look at the term rock and roll was a description of sex. You go up to the point, you hop in, everybody was in their car and you rocking and rolling. That's the music people listen to when they were rocking and rolling.
Right,
Right.
right.
That was what do you call it? It's not ethnic music. It's called
So when that was considered secular music, is that what one of the
part of the music scene, the scene itself. So today it's the same thing. Drugs is always a part of, unfortunately, well, let me not say always. Too much of our messaging is around drug usage, sex, um, just unethical, depraved behavior. that's how people get down. We go into these different. I was having a conversation earlier with a friend of mine. We talking about that us, and then when you think about hip hop culture going from the street, because it didn't have a place to exist inside. There was no clubs. I mean, they played rap records, but in terms of us as youth in the late 70s, early 80s, we was kind of in the street with it. School parties, maybe you go to Alley Helper Christians, junior high school, you run out the gym and you caught it there, but you weren't going to like concert halls, really hadn't embraced the culture yet. But as we got older, y'all see me at Cheetahs, 1998, 99, 2000. That's what hip hop was, the club. What I mean? And what's in the club? Alcohol. And once you find out that's where the market is, and you just concentrate your attention on that market, and that's why alcohol is so prevalent in our culture.
Right.
Were you gonna ask a question?
Nah, please continue. You were going in.
So in the early 2000s, it might be like 2002, I had the privilege of being in an organization that I can't remember the name of. But big shout out to Cynical Almitra from IBC, Beat Miners Radio.
Yes.
We were in an organization with the Honorable Harry Belafonte, Ozzie Davis, Ruby D,
Wow.
Bob Law, and we met 2 times a month up at Abyssinia Baptist Church. One day,
Yes.
Mr. B comes in. He is Gil Noble, great Gil Noble.
Wow, Gil Noble.
Gil Noble. So it might have been Gil Noble or Harry B. But they walk in, put a newspaper down. It was the Wall Street Journal, slammed it down on the table, and we was pissed. It was like, see, this is what I'm talking about. Your generation messing up. The Wall Street Journal had an article on the power of Pastor Cavassier, the song by Busta Rhymes, P. Diddy, and Pharrell.
Right. Steve Stout.
So before he put this record out, maybe a year or two before, Cognac comes from Cognac, France, which is a city
Right.
in France. About 200,000 people. About 200,000 people to Cognac or rum. China at one point was importer of French rum from that region. China and France starts beefing. China puts an embargo on products coming from France. The $14 billion was the valuation of who made Cavassier? Because now, let me get the article. HipHop saves the cognac liquor industry. We weren't expecting the cognac to be associated with those types of people. Say Jean-Marie Macron, 55-year-old cognac past Cavassier. So the mortification of living in the cognac industry, Busta Rhymes, Jay-Z, and hip-hop community have helped to resurrect a perishing cognac industry. The nearly triple cognac exportations to the U.S. in the last 10 years. Furthermore, Americans have spent approximately $1 billion on the French liquor last year. Americans imported 3.7 million cases of cognac last year, 36% of the worldwide market compared to 1.3 million in 1993. According to the Wall Street Journal, Hennessy, America's biggest cognac brand with 85% of U.S. So that's what happens when we put our thing on things. When we put our value, our
Midas touch.
our say-so, our backing, our shit on something, that's the value we give it. The problem is we don't understand that, so we end up giving it back.
Right.
And that's what we see going on right now.
Facts.
To this day. To this day.
Puffy's name associated with liquor was like the value of that is exponential.
Right.
Puffy's the doorway to black people.
Right.
Now, keep in mind, we talk about spirits.
Spirits.
And what is spirits? They're not called spirits for just any old reason.
That's right. Spirit is the breath.
Spirits.
But you got distilled spirit as well. You know, that alchemical process. So, and you know, we could bring it 360 to see even his initial enshrinement with alcohol being Pastor Cavassier. He was able to pull off maybe Grammy Gold or what have you, just to find out that he is just an influencer for Ciroc and other vodka brands.
Right.
And then it comes full circle, you know.
Extremely significant.
And a part that people overlook and don't speak on often is that right after he came with the lawsuit, the CEO of Diageo died.
He died.
Right? And his family was saying that he died from stress induced from the lawsuit.
That's right.
So they had a personal vendetta, oblivious to what's going on, for somebody who had so much dirt, for him to mount an attack this way meant that he was like he was drinking watermelon Ciroc like it was water.
And the
That was
irony,
very uncalculated.
right? The irony of the spirit brands with these individuals in hip hop who are being weighed in the public court of opinion because they're saying that their spirit is bad and that they're involved with spirit cooking and whatnot. This is not no regular, he doesn't do good business or we don't like. No, they've been saying that about homie. The implications in not only the lawsuits, but the implications in the whistleblower and whatnot is saying that this thing goes a lot deeper than what they're talking about. Blackmail, they're talking about sex trafficking, prostitution, high level escort servicing,
Right.
doing basically what Epstein did in a version of blackface. Okay,
Right. Macro,
See?
micro.
macro, micro.
That
Uh-huh.
if you
That's
run a
right.
honeypot organization, you cover the bottom to the top because you get entertainment, politicians, and military.
Right,
So that just, you know what I'm saying? And then you get the billionaires, the business, you know what I mean? Everything else that goes in between when you scan the scope globally of what the honeypot operation represented. The tentacles of it have to go back to Israeli intelligence.
that's where it goes.
So now you're talking about a global network, whereas they know at a very surface level, you know what I'm saying? The people who we may consider a threat at a base level, because in this cauldron called hip hop is cooking up a potential threat, right? We see the evidence of it existing. We just got to put gatekeepers at the door. And they already primed the gatekeepers by tapping Clive Davis in the 70s
Right,
for the Harvard report. So the CIA
Right.
was already in bed with him as a gatekeeper because they identified Bob Marley as a threat and they neutralized him, utilizing Chris Blackwell and Siega at the time, who were both Harvard graduate and CIA assets, and Clive Davis was a main piece of that puzzle. So if he decimated the rise of the thing that they was attempting to stop was him going on tour with Stevie Wonder in 1980 because Bob Marley had not yet cracked the U.S. market yet. He was an international star that created waves overseas,
right,
but he had not yet been cemented in the States. Stevie Wonder was about to go on tour with him. He would have cemented him. They was more concerned that he would radicalize Stevie though, because the CIA makes the,
right.
they
Messianic.
were studying soul music. They said his shit messianic. They were studying soul music, right? And Harvard gave them the script on how to subvert soul music by taking out the instruments and bringing in synthetic instruments, and also taking the publishing and everything. So that's what Clive Davis did with Stack Records. So,
And-
with all that being said,
Right.
and he parked them in the early 80s. So hip hop comes along later on, and you think that these people wasn't seasoned and ready?
I'm glad you said that about the Harvard study, because that was, them doing the knowledge on the power of our music, our expression. The majority of the music sold in America prior to like the mid 70s was independently owned, distributed music.
Right.
The major labels had a minority share of the total market. So that was like, well, how do
Right.
we get control of the entire market? How do we control everything? Control, that's the biggest thing. Control of the resource.
That's
And
right.
Us as the resource, in terms of the civil rights movement and how that was coalesced and how Dr. King leaned on independent promoters, the network that Black radio had,
Right.
the ability to organize people on a grassroots level couldn't have happened without Black radio
Yes.
and Black
My mother
artists.
told me it was Black radio and Black church. Were the
Yeah.
two engines that push civil rights as a grassroots movement to get the word out and they
Yeah.
proved themselves to be effective tools for organizing.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Black radio was super powerful.
The internet of
Super
its day, social
Yeah.
media of its day.
That's right. So when you look at the you know the cultural impact of our music aligned with the political impact of our music,
Right.
right, and the potential for the economic
Impact. Right.
impact, because we controlled our destiny. And then part of that Harvard study was saying, hey, how do we disrupt this? We'll throw money at them.
Right.
And you find, you know, the pick of the litter, get them a whole bunch of money, and then they become the gatekeeper.
Right.
And then you got to kind of look at, you know, like the singers and the rappers, like we're the Pied Piper. We lead people.
We lead
Music
the,
is
right. The
gets people
influencer.
exactly. We get people in step. We set the tone.
That's
We
right.
set the vibe. We set the where our mind is at is where we can get the people's mind at, right? And it's wherever our mind is at. You know what I mean? If your mind is in the cesspool, you're gonna get some doodle on you.
Right.
That's if your mind is if you're hanging in the cesspool, you're gonna get some doodle on you.
That's
Now,
right.
you know, unfortunately, you know, when we say our elders and our ancestors are all of our elders and our ancestors, and we can learn from all of them.
Right.
But some of our ancestors was hanging out in the cesspool.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
You know
That's
what I'm
a
saying? And yeah, like you hang out in the cesspool. That's you teaching your kids. It's comfortable in the cesspool. You can make the cesspool fly.
Right.
In the cesspool. And somebody gets some doodle on them.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And that's all I want to call no names. I don't point no fingers. That you point
Let me
one
share
finger,
something
you
with
point
you,
back
though.
at you.
Let me
But
share something with you though. What does fertilizer do?
Hey.
Where do mushrooms grow out
It
of?
brings nutrients. It brings nutrients to the soil.
Where do you find
Everything come from
mushrooms and
shit.
cow dung, brother? So the mycelium, huh? What happened?
You don't want to drown in the cesspool.
Oh, now you don't want to drown in the cesspool at all. And I do agree with you that, shit hop is become the order of the day.
You took it there.
Huh?
You took it there.
Yes, I had to. Shout out to
that
Black
was
Dot.
That was
Yes.
perfect.
Yeah,
Big shout out to Black Dot.
Shout out to Black Dot. Shout out to
Dot.
Professor Griff. Shout out to Minister Server. Shout out to Paradise Gray, who we
Yes.
will be having on this platform. We're going to be introducing y'all to a
Yes,
legend.
indeed.
Shout out to all of the legends doing what they do. Shout out to KRS-One. Hold on, the teacher, right?
Hold on.
Because there's actually a longer intro out there. There's a video where we made a longer intro, and we got into talking about how, the teacher was the one who helped restore that fifth pillar in hip hop when we were coming up.
Yes.
And, he was a responsible father. I'm talking about, the teacher was like a father figure.
Right.
Because he taught us and we needed to learn. And he did that well on beats and whatnot. And you came along and you did that. You continue to carry on tradition, and you've been teaching through your lyrics and through your bars, right? So I wanted to commend you for keeping that pillar of hip hop alive, because a lot of MCs, they did not, they didn't hold on to that instruction. And we're in a world right now where being woke and being intelligent and speaking up against what we see as falsehoods, that has become trendy. And huh? We was woke when woke was still asleep, baby. You feel me? We was tapped in, and being tapped in back then seems, in hindsight, to be more of a innocent, more of a more serene, more of a more pure and authentic walk that many of us were on because we were traveling the path less traveled, down the road less traveled, right? I mean, on people's phones right now. This is something 30 years ago, I'd have been like, shut your mouth. But when I saw you on Video Music Box, you belong to a group of elite magical Negroes. When I saw you in real life, I didn't even realize that that was possible.
Facts.
I said, damn.
He exists in Video Music Box.
He exists outside of Video Music Box. Because being a rapper back then was such a rarity, and this is before 9/11. This is B9 when the whole culture was different. You were part of an elite group, bro. Now I'm dead ass. I'm just saying you had locks and everything. You was a part of an elite group that got picked out, almost like the NBA first strain when they was doing Dream Team shit before, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just had to shit standing on business and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Damn. Damn.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Damn.
like the 70s and the 80s was like, we say under. Well, I mean, like, karate shoes, big bucks.
Man.
I'm online sometimes and I'll post like an Asian dance that be getting it in. They be James Brown.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, you be going in.
That's right. Nostalgia.
I mean,
Take them on a time machine.
the culture with a certain reverence.
Jeff.
They treat the culture with a certain reverence and respect
Yeah.
that, you know, they Asians, so it looks like they Asians, but they don't, they move like us.
That's right. That's right. And salute to them because
I get a little pushback. People criticize me, they call it cultural appropriation. I'm like, dude,
nah.
you realize we came up in karate shoes?
We came up. It's cultural exchange, goddammit.
Bang.
Dude, we used to walk down the street in
about
full
cultural
karate.
exchange?
We go to school in a karate.
We have cultural.
Bang.
We got cultural
Bang.
association.
Bang.
It's not
Bang.
cultural appropriation. If we grew up eating Chinese food and they say that you are what you eat,
Right.
and not only did we grow up eating Chinese food, but we ate it
Face
through our
first.
eyes because we watched it and we emulated it. And this was actually what got us
Shit like that,
outside to
shit
be
like that,
active
shit
from
like
being sedentary children on the weekend, right? Then
Right.
we're in our natural expression. That's why when Wu-Tang came along, it was such a perfect fit because who ain't want to be a Shaolin monk? I know I wanted to have the 3 dots. What you talking about?
You talking about with the
Sound like what
ponytail?
Wu-Tang got to get back their publishing because they not Chinese.
Right.
Like, come on, man. Like, somebody, you know, we know our people create everything. Everything
right.
there is, we create. It comes from us. We know
That's
that.
right. The originators, the pioneers.
Everything.
We the fertilizer,
Numero
Hakim.
uno.
And everybody outside of us comes from us.
Right.
If you respect something and you treat something with reverence and you pay homage to the gods,
Right.
and we ain't got no problem.
Let me explain something, right? In gematria, in the system of gematria, which is the Greek word for geometry, the word hip hop equals the number 432. 432 also equals world. And 432 is the natural hertz for the heartbeat.
That's right.
So hip hop is a global art form that unites the globe through the heartbeat. And it was an answering as the Blast Master said, it was an answer to a prayer. So it was energy, it was a frequency. And it was like the answer to the Nana's prayers where they was like, take care of my seed, take care of my son, they out there on them streets. You feel me? And some of them children came back with checks.
That's right.
And it wasn't from the hustle or the juggle.
It was from the
It was
art.
from the culture, it was from the arts.
God
so,
bless the child to hold their own.
you know, we was given a bliss and a blessing.
That's right.
And it spread globally because it's a global art form. You know, it was a gift from the creator. And if only we can harness that understanding so we can harness the value of it. You know, we belong to a multi-trillion-dollar ecosystem. Because it is a global art form, it would give us ability to have a global passport. Imagine hip hop citizenship globally. Look, your shit had to be like, yo, you got the purple tape, you got Chronic, Ready to Die, and the score, and you got a citizenship.
Right.
And then if you get, you gotta have certain places from certain countries. You just go and get those artists. You pick like 6 or 7 of them, and then they're like, yeah, you got a visa for over here too. You Gucci.
Right. What's the name of that work visa, Haiti? The what? The H-1B. Get that H-1B work visa and come and do your thing. Because we do have to open up the bridges for cultural exchanges. Asia, India, Africa, and South America need us, right?
Yes.
They're popping right now, huh?
Yes.
They love us.
They need us and we need them.
And we need them. These are
To be
emerging
quite
markets.
honest, yeah.
Right.
Like
Exactly.
this is where our culture exists. So as cultural ambassadors, why not we not going there and building bridges and finding out what they got popping over there and then bring some of that into, you know, bring some of that over and cross it over into the culture over here.
And then we're not really actually doing hip hop.
Right.
Like we not, and it's like don't mean that you gotta be breakdancing or you gotta be DJing and scratching or you gotta be a graffiti artist. It's not what that means. That means that understanding that the foundation of how we build as a people,
Right.
how we network, how we communicate,
Right.
how we do everything we do, essentially is hip hop. I used to be a school teacher. My whole movement was hip hop. How I approached lesson plans, hip hop. How I dealt with parents, hip hop. How I delivered my message, hip hop. I was always trying to relate to my people how they needed to be related to. And even today, I get like bigged up by some of my former students. This is back in the 90s. They'll hit me up like, yo, you know, you was intelligent, you is that and the third, and we related to you. The relatable part is the
Right.
key when you talk about education. Because
Right.
when it was inside the person out, we got all the knowledge, is bringing the knowledge out. That's how
Right.
we gotta educate young people. And the best relationship is hip hop culture.
Right.
DJ.
So, case in point, like I tell this story often. I personally attribute the Blastmaster KRS-One and Rakim. I was in certain situations in English class where I had tests and I had to learn. I had to remember either how a word was spelled or how to use it in a sentence, and it would be songs that KRS-One did that I would be able to put those words in their proper context. And I think that I passed some of them classes due to the education. Like that one song, yeah, like you must learn.
Word.
When he was breaking all that shit down,
Word.
that shit came in handy on plenty of occasions. So I was like, damn, this is really a tool and a device because I appreciated how I was able to learn like that, right?
Right.
It was rhythmic. He was painting a picture. Like I could see it clearly and I could recall it when I needed to.
Right.
So I'm like, damn, this is an effective method. They should do more of this.
Right. Speak our language.
So
The legend.
to God, right.
The legend
he put
A.A.
us-
Rashid.
He put us onto Akila and the Bee,
Right.
and how he got her to memorize was through motion. Like the action itself,
Right.
right? So you're learning, like you're learning physically. You're using the body and rhythm
In rhythm.
to memorize or to internalize a lesson. You know what I mean? There's ways of getting across a message that's like verbal communication and nonverbal communication. The way we move, hand gestures, all that is about relationship. But it becomes down to what are we relating now? Like, what are we talking about? What's on our mind? What are we what are we communicating to each other? You know, and that
Right.
and that goes all the way to all we do is spark madism. Because again, I don't want to point no fingers because there's 3 pointing back, right? But there's like a responsibility that we should be having as artists because we're communicating certain and we put money behind things. Child of God, you know what I mean? However, we got to take back this culture, you know, in a real way, and just being the culture is the best way to do it, you know, and
Right.
shining light on the culture, like the real culture, what the culture really is. The Olympics is coming up in Paris, France this year,
That's right.
2024, and you got breakdancing as an official Olympic event.
Right. Got breakdancing.
Wow.
Breakdancing. And I don't know how it's going down. We were doing some clubhouse discussions like 3 years ago about it and who was the judges, how are they gonna, what's the criteria, how, like, you know, when we think of breakdancing, us coming from the Northeast, we think of a certain thing, but around the world it's a little different. And now who gets to decide? Now, when we see the Olympics this year and maybe it doesn't represent what we think it should be, are we gonna get upset with them or get upset with us because we ain't take control of our culture?
Right.
That part. You know, speaking on the Olympics and speaking about global recognition, of all the places that you visited on the planet, it's the strongest.
You cut out.
Hello?
You cut out for a second. Repeat that.
Yeah, I said outside of the U.S., where else have you felt the spirit of hip hop the strongest?
I mean, Brazil was dope. Japan was dope. France was dope. Uh, you know, like everywhere we went, it was like they love the culture of hip hop more than say just the rap. You know,
Right.
it's like
Right.
it all comes together as a package. Is how they kind of do it. To some degree, not always. Now,
Right.
there's DJ EFN. His company, Who's Crazy.
Right.
They have a documentary series called Coming Home, and
Mm-hmm.
it's about what hip hop looks like in all the different countries they go to, and you can get it on YouTube.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's called if you look at Who's Crazy Coming Home, DJ EFN, it should come up.
Okay.
And they went to Cuba, they went to Vietnam, I think, no, Korea,
Right.
they went to somewhere in South America. They don't pay
Right.
attention to American rappers because we on bullshit.
Right.
Oh, shit. Like, so, you know, what you think about the U.S. hip hop? They on bullshit. They do hip hop over there.
That's right. So, with
Shit.
that being said, right, knowing that our impact around the world is something that you've been able to see firsthand, seeing seeing what has been taking place in the world of hip hop, right? For let's say the last 6 months, let's just say the last 6 months, what's been revealed, what the Cat Williams video was implicating, what it really meant, all of the subtleties in that, what the P. Diddy case and all of its complexities mean, the fact that there is more than speculation now, there's proof to back up a lot of the quote unquote rumors and huh?
Hold on. Is there though?
Say it again.
Is there?
Is there proof, you said?
Yeah, is there proof?
Yeah. Allegedly that there's video, audio, and some other evidence that will implicate certain claims that are being made as to being true, right? So certain things remain to be seen, right? However, what the reports are revealing in terms of the freak offs and, you know, homosexual activity, implications coming from Keefe D of certain people in the industry who are looked at around the world is not being nefarious characters, just being successful businessmen, just being people who worked their way to the top and had a lot of hits, were really non-threatening, non-harmful, talked a lot of crazy stuff maybe in the music, but never in real life. So around the world, people are now being exposed to the fact that the culture, right? Or rather, the leaders of the culture or the quote unquote elite of the culture have been compromised, you know, and now they're falling and they're facing judgment, right? A lot of people are facing judgment by losing their fortunes and, you know, being ridiculed in public and losing their public, huh?
Right. So, all right. So
Yes. So what I want to know from you is what type of impact do you
I
think,
answer it?
huh?
So, what type of impact do I think it's gonna have?
On the global, and what is the global impact that it will have?
Man, I really don't think it's gonna have much of an impact, bro. Like, it'll affect him and the people around him, but life is gonna go on. Shit still gonna move. Like, I don't think that it's niggas is being niggas, man. I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know. I can't answer that. It's like it's all entertainment. Everybody's life is a reality show.
Right.
Puffy's been king of the hill since the early '90s.
Right.
We've watched him go through drama after drama after drama. We watched him go through City College.
Right.
We watched him go through Biggie, Club New York, Shine, Black
Right.
Rob. But at the same time, people are making choices. People are doing the same thing. And they make the wrong choice. And people know right from wrong. People got to look there at all the costs. No matter what happens with anybody you paying attention to, at the end of the day, you got to live your life.
Right.
You want to do with yours. For entertainment purposes, we're all caught up because it's a reality show. The whole episode, man. Biggie was murdered in '97. So we've just watched real life people go through tragedy and go through trauma and go like Biggie's got a mother, Biggie's got children. Like
I think the
that whole
collective.
story.
I think the collective got traumatized, and they went through it together.
Man, what? Like,
Huh?
Miss Wallace, and to be, rest in peace, Afeni Shakur, like, is a little, like, you're directly connected to the tragedy itself. You got to go through the doctor visits. You go rush to the hospital, see him laid up, shot the fuck up. You got to go identify the body. You got to go through the funeral.
Right.
You got to go through all that. We, on the other hand, are looking from a distance, and though we're impacted,
Of course.
yeah, we're impacted to some degree.
Not
It
to
still
that
becomes
degree.
entertainment for us.
Right.
Like, we're gonna dialogue about it in a way that she could never dialogue
Right.
about it.
That's right.
Still turns entertainment for us. Especially if we want to transmute the pain.
Victims involved, their real life trauma is something that's not always considered when we're talking about things, right? And but how they gotta deal with it. In terms of the allegations and all that stuff, like, man, we watched it happen in front of our eyes, where we all saw it happen. Now, the powers that be saw it happen. And they know what happened and how it should be sorted out. And they're going to sort it out how they deem necessary. And then everything else is just a hype machine.
But let me ask you this, Hakim. Did you think that you was going to see the day where P. Diddy was being implicated in both Tupac and Biggie's demise and people were standing on that shit? Did you think that you was going to really, and I'm saying where it was all on your timeline and that was the talk of the town?
Crazy.
That I don't know if I foresaw that.
Nah, I don't think I foresaw that.
Yeah,
I'll be
that's
honest.
a
I
little
didn't,
weird to me.
That is such a, like a
like
turn
I
of
didn't, I
events.
didn't see that. But in hindsight, it's always 2020. I can understand why, bro. And it's a few, you know, you just certain things happen, right? And people kind of show you who they are, right? They reveal themselves,
Right.
and that's happened a bunch of times. And when
Okay.
Puff started running around with the black thing, like he wanted to be king of Black America.
Right. Remember that?
You know what I mean? Like he was putting his, he was trying to put his politic hat on.
That's right.
Yeah. Remember
He
that?
was, he was
And
the
I was
king of
like,
Black
I said,
America.
yo, man, stay away from anything black, bro, because whatever the real issues are now become devalued because you're attached to it.
Right.
Don't do that. Don't attach yourself to. Like, yeah, you're a black man, and we should embrace you as a black man. No
Right.
doubt. But don't try to be the black face of
Oh nah, he went and elected himself. Yeah, he must have had a good night on one of them Ciroc parties. That nigga woke up and was like, I'm the president of all Black America. To this
To
day.
this day.
So look,
To this day.
we got 2 minutes closing it out. I want to close it out with this question to you, my good brother, and then I want you to let people know where they can find you. Nah, we only got 2 minutes, good brother. We gonna bring you back though.
Right.
All right.
Unless you
Okay,
got a
what's the question?
60-second clip and you can answer this question in 1 minute. Let's get it.
Go ahead. Let's
What
go.
does hip hop complex? What does hip hop industrial complex mean to you when you hear that?
A contradiction.
Hip hop industrial complex.
Music is embedded in music. That's it. Like there's the music industry, and there's this thing we call hip hop culture. It's two totally different things.
Right.
When I see KTL, I see hip hop. When
That's
I see
right.
Martha Diaz, I see hip hop education. When I see Roz Baraka, I see hip hop mayor. Do it
That's
all
right.
Kelly, hip hop mayor. Like I don't see the rap music
The distinction.
business
Let them know where they
as
can find you,
hip-hop
God.
at all.
Indeed. Let them know where they can find you.
So my shit is on there.
Right. Let them know where they can find you.
It's hip-hop.
Let them know where they can find you.
At Hakim Green, HAKIMGREEN, HakimGreen.com, HAKIMGREEN.com. Look out for 24 Hours of Peace, August 23rd, August 24th in Newark, New Jersey, South Orange Avenue, 14th Street. Save the date, details coming later. Also look out for OSNSR, Old School Lawrence, the super producer.
Peace to the
Yeah.
God.
Peace to the God.
Hey.